Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Today we are mastering another lesson from Healthy Eating 101 course that I've created for my online educational platform, online food school that you can find by following the link in the show notes. Amazing course, a lot of cool, fun, educational, and super useful videos that are gonna help you to master your plate. A lot of practical assignments that I personally, until we get a lot of people, when I'm not able to do that, I personally evaluate those assignments and give you my personal feedback. So sign up till it lasts. And today, as I've said, we are mastering another lesson from Healthy Eating 101 course, and this lesson is about labels. How to navigate food world in a regular supermarket or in a healthy food supermarket anywhere around the world. What, according to recent studies, according to recent science, we should all be avoiding, no matter what we are buying, no matter where we see that ingredient list and how healthy front label claims this product to be, like how to navigate and to understand all these ingredient lists and all these labels. And do you really need to understand all of it to make good for you choices? Today you're gonna learn all of it. Is it really important, like the date on the product? How to make sense of all the different dates and words like use by or best if used by. So we are going to be talking about that too, and about supplements. How to choose supplements that at least not harmful to you, and in the best case scenario are actually useful and improve your health or your mental or physical performance or energy levels and make you feel happy. So all about that today. And let's start. So labels. How to know if the product is healthy, judging it by its label, by its cover. So there are three things that you want to understand when it comes to food labels. There is front label part of any product that usually faces you, and that where you can see the name and maybe even some health claims like heart healthy or good for your gut health. There is ingredient list where everything that was put in that food is listed, and then there is nutrition facts, and those are three different things. So front label is the most misleading thing, that is more about marketing and has very little to do with actual facts about this food. So when it says heart healthy, for example, on some cereal, is it really heart healthy? In most cases, nah. Like if you see a cereal full of sugar, you check the ingredient list and there is a bunch of added sugars, natural or not, doesn't matter really for your body. So you see that heart healthy and a bunch of sugar in it. What it tells you, at least in US, in Australia probably too, and in most actually countries till very recently, products that were called heart healthy, that just meant that they're low in fat and probably low in saturated fats, and that all it meant. But is it really good for your health? Like, do we have any science to support that? As it turns out, we have no science to support that, and it seems that people who avoid all the added sugars and to eat their healthy fats from whole foods, saturated and monounsaturated and polyunsaturated from whole foods, unprocessed, those people have much longer lives and much healthier hearts. So when it says on the product heart healthy, just because some guy in an American heart association decided that this thing is healthy doesn't make it so. And there is also very often a lot of industry interests involved, money involved, and that makes it even more doubtful that it has any connection to actual truth about the healthiness of this product, right? So don't trust front label. Now, turn your product to the side or to the back. They place nutrition facts and ingredient list in different places on different products. And let's move to ingredient lists. What are the things that we all should be avoiding when it comes to ingredient lists of the products? Well, added sugars, as I mentioned already, and that again doesn't matter if it's like cane sugar or brown sugar. White sugar is made of beets too. So what's the difference between cane sugar and brown sugar? People say, well, it's less processed. Okay, so now if you put some vitamins, if you add some vitamins to your sugar, that makes it better, or add some fiber to your white sugar. Like there is still a huge response in your blood glucose, and spikes in your blood sugar, blood glucose are not good for long-term health. They're just proven by all the studies that were ever made, unbiased by industry's interests. So added sugars, honey or agave syrup is, naturally high in fructose syrup. So any sorts of added sugars, and there are so many names these days for different sugars, but that also goes to most of the artificial sweeteners like aspartame or sucralose. Sucralose and aspartame, probably are two worst offenders of gut health. So do not eat or drink any food products with them. The only sweeteners that seem to be okay, even though anything refined and even when it's totally natural, I wouldn't recommend eating it or consuming it on a regular basis. It's just better, for example, if you take regular chocolate with sugar and take stevia sweetened chocolate, I would prefer to go for stevia sweetened one because that doesn't affect your blood sugar. So when it comes to sweeteners, it's complicated, guys. Even I don't know all the names of the sweeteners. So whenever I look at the ingredient list, my default is, if I don't understand something, I Google it. We all have our phones. If I really think then that this product otherwise is really, really good, so I look that ingredient up, and if it's something I want to put in my body, then I'm going to choose that product. If it's not, then now I know that what it is, and I'm going to be aware of this ingredient. So I highly recommend you to do the same whenever you encounter some ingredient that you're not sure about. And whatever sounds like non-food ingredient, you should be really careful about putting that into your body. So anyway, I'm also gonna share a link in the show notes that will introduce you to most common sugars and sweeteners that you can find in food products these days. And look at them. They have also pictures and short explanations, and just be aware of these things that are constantly being added to our food supply without, guys, by the way, a lot of ingredients added to our food supply without any sorts of research, except for the fact that it doesn't kill you right away. There is no research supporting that it's good for you, even like in a month or a year. Nobody tests most of the products that are now on the market, on the shelves of our supermarkets. Nobody tests them for long-term consequences. And I guess also what you want to understand is we don't really have that many tools currently that can help us to identify how good or how bad this product is for us long-term. Like there is a way to, for example, measure inflammation, right? But unless you are like in a lab eating that food, you will not be able to know short term like what kind of inflammation that food produced or that ingredient in that food, right? And it just at the end of the day, in a month or half a year or once a year, you're gonna check your lab work, your blood work, and everything, and then you're gonna see increased inflammation, and you wouldn't have an idea what caused that because you've been eating so many foods. Each of us. I kind of, made a point not to eat any food products. I eat whole foods, but most of the people eat a lot of products, and then it's really hard to trace back that increased inflammation in your body. So understand that you have you increase your own chances of getting more inflammation and all sorts of health problems when you consume ingredients that were not really proven to be short or long-term good for our health. So just be aware of that. And back to our ingredients. So added sugars. The second thing, vegetable oils. And I also gonna link an article where you can read extensively about vegetable oils and what I mean by that and why they're so bad for you. It's written by an MD doctor who is she's the best nutritionist if you're talking about vegetable oils and a lot of other concepts of our modern diet. So I'm gonna link that in the show notes. Check that out, and there is a list of vegetable oils that you should be avoiding also. But the most common ones that you usually see in your products are canola oil, peanut oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, soybean oil, corn oil. So those oils you should not cook with them. You should not be eating them in any form. And it gets a little bit more complicated because they put it in almost every restaurant and cafe. And if you eat out, the chances are you are eating those oils. So that's why, for example, when I eat out, I ask them specifically to either cook on real butter or olive oil, or I get something that has no oil, like steamed salmon or steamed vegetables. By definition, they should not be putting any oil there, so I'm safe there. That's what I do when I eat out and I cannot cook at home. That often happens, when I'm at work, when I'm on the gig, or when I'm training someone and I gotta get my lunch or something elsewhere. So I go for something that I'm sure doesn't have those oils because even single consumption of vegetable oils will increase your inflammation, will increase your blood sugar levels, will increase your inflammation in your brain, and depending on how much of that oil you got, depending on how much you got, that's going to define how bad of an effect you have. But each single consumption of that oil gonna decrease the amount of health, vitality, and energy you have, guys. So vegetable oils, make sure you're not eating those, and don't give them to your kids. Like, check the labels of cereals that you give to your kids, for example. It blows my mind how many parents are really good about eating healthy, but then they give their kids like that cereal that has vegetable oils with a bunch of sugars and all these snacks. Like, there are always alternatives, especially these days. So make sure that you and your loved ones eat the diet of foods that at least are proven not to be harmful. Not the ones that are proven already to increase mortality, to decrease your heart health and promote heart disease, to promote all sorts of brain diseases like dementia, Alzheimer's. A lot of those diseases are the result of many decades of increased inflammation and blood sugar spikes. So that's what I want you to understand. You want to be in control of your mind when you're 60 or 70, right? You don't want to be senile or not remembering stuff. So it's important to take care of that today because that accumulates. And people think, or somebody just wasn't lucky and got Alzheimer's or they got bad genes. Well, bad genes might be there, but if it wasn't for the lifestyle plus the genes, it wouldn't happen. So vegetable oils. Thing number 2 to avoid on ingredient list. And number 3, non-food ingredients, as we talked many times already. So whenever you don't understand what's the name of this ingredient, whenever it doesn't sound like a plant or like an animal or like a food that you would use for cooking, don't buy that food. I understand there are special occasions, there are, parties or something like that, but make sure that on a regular basis, unless, it's a once in a blue moon event, on a regular basis, you do not consume anything weird because that's an experiment you're running on yourself, and combined with all the other improvement, quote unquote, of our environment, that can really backfire and you can get some health conditions that are not even heard of till this point. So don't run this ingredient on yourself. Eat foods that are proven to be good for us by millennia of evolution, by thousands of years of evolution. So whole foods of the best quality is your best bet. They were also kind of an experiment when, when we were evolving as human beings. We also tried many things, and we kept eating things that worked for us for thousands of years, and that's why we're still eating them. That's why we are not eating grass. Probably one of our ancestors tried eating grass one day and it didn't quite work. And that's why we know that it's not good for us to eat. My point is, most of the new food products, they're huge experiments. So if your life is dear to you, if your health is important to you, don't run those experiments on yourself until we have better tools to evaluate long-term effects of those experiments. So when it comes to, again, ingredient list, added sugars, vegetable oils, check out the link in the show notes, and non-food ingredients. So those are the things to avoid. And then nutrition facts. Nutrition facts is where you see how many calories, how many fats, how many carbohydrates, proteins, some vitamins and minerals, fiber, depending on where you are in the world, maybe Australia or maybe Dubai or US. Depending on where you are in the world, nutrition facts labels will be different. So some countries will tell you that you need to watch your vitamin A, or that you gotta watch your fats, and that's why they're gonna put it on the top and will especially somehow make it visible to focus you on the amount of fat you're eating. These days, actually, US is changing the guidelines, so they're becoming more honest and more scientifically based. So you see, total calories, calories per serving. So people don't think that if they eat the whole bag of potato chips, that it's the same as eating a serving size that is like 5 potato chips. But then also nutrition facts labels will help you to track some of the nutrients that are proven to be super important for our health. And also it is proven that a lot of people are deficient in those nutrients, like for example, vitamin D or iron or vitamin A. They are also called nutrients of concern. So when you look at the nutrition fact labels, I would suggest you to check those nutrients from time to time and check your levels when you do the blood work, if you're deficient or not in those nutrients. And if, for example, then that you're not usually getting enough, let's say calcium, that is hugely important for our health, then add some foods that do have calcium. Also remembering then when foods like cereal fortified with calcium, it's not the same calcium that is in whole foods. Like for example, flax seeds have a lot of calcium, some green leafy vegetables, a lot of seafood like sardines and salmon have calcium. So when foods are fortified with calcium, meaning calcium is added, calcium, I take it as one of the examples, it means that it's not that great. Like you want to get naturally occurring nutrients, and it's usually specified on the nutrition facts labels what is added, and if this product is fortified with certain nutrients or if it's naturally occurring. If you have doubts about that, ask me, send me a picture of this label and I'll explain to you what it all means. So if you know that you're missing certain nutrients like maybe calcium, then just use labels also to help guide your eating choices and choose foods that are naturally higher in calcium. In the worst case scenario, use foods with calcium added to these foods, but in that case, actually guys, I would prefer you to get good quality supplement, not some fortified food. So if you know that you're low on calcium and you're not getting it through your diet or not absorbing it well, then get good quality supplement. And about good quality supplements, we'll talk in a minute, or maybe in a couple of minutes. So nutrition facts labels, I wouldn't pay attention that much to calories, to fats, to all of that stuff. I would really focus on ingredient lists. So we talked about ingredients in our foods. Now let's talk about the dates on our foods. So usually you can see on the label two kinds of dates: best if used by or something similar, and use by. And by the way, in the links in the show notes, I'm gonna link an episode of the guy who experimented and ate for a while foods past their use by date. And basically the whole episode, the video is also very entertaining and short. But the conclusion is most companies, most use by dates have nothing to do with the health concerns of the foods or how health concerns of the foods and whether the food is spoiled or not. Most of the dates have to do with industry practices. So for example, if in industry, let's say dairy industry, it is a common practice to let's say save certain dairy products like maybe yogurt for like a week. If it's a good quality yogurt, that's its live I don't know, this is the length of its life where you get the nutrition, the most bacteria beneficial to our gut and all the nutrients. But anyway, most of the products, they will put the date that is used in the industry, not necessarily because this particular product is going to go bad, or any product for that sort. Like for example, pasteurized milk or ultra pasteurized milk, like that thing can be in its package for probably, I don't know, months. But they put a certain date to make it look like it's fresh food and it goes bad. And also they put it there because they want stores to sell their stuff faster and get more of the supply of this particular product. So if you're someone who are in the budget when it comes to foods, if you're someone who doesn't like the idea of wasting food, I'm one of those people. I don't like to be wasting my food or money. So don't always follow these dates used by, because for a lot of products it just doesn't make any sense that this date is there or that particular date is there. Now foods go bad, but they might not go bad on the date that is on the package. There is no science behind it. So I want you to understand, guys, this. And the difference between these kind of labels, best if used by and used by, best if used by, it tells you that this date to this date, it is guaranteed, the experience, your eating experience is guaranteed. So, maybe the crunch, the aroma, the freshness, like the whole experience, it is guaranteed as it is promised to be that. Or when you see best if used by date. When it says used by, it actually implies that after this date, it might not be safe for you to consume this food, so this food can go bad. But as we talked earlier, it might not be the case, and a lot of times there is no science whatsoever behind these claims that you gotta use this product by date. A lot of times it's just to sell it faster. So my advice, make your own judgment and also go use your senses to guide you like our ancestors did. If you smell milk and it smells sour, then probably you're not going to get a good, food experience. You might get diarrhea or something. But actually, my mom uses sour milk to make pancakes. She still does it, works, and she says that it creates this super, light dough for pancakes. So she doesn't waste even that. But yeah, use your nose, taste a little bit. If it tastes, smells weird to you, then throw it away. That's the best practice. So when it comes to dates, also check out the link in the show notes. Quite an interesting video about this guy's experiment, how he ate foods past their use by date. Plus, you're probably going to save a lot of money. A lot of stores will put on sale products that are supposed to be used by a certain date. And then now let's get to our supplements. So when it comes to supplement, what is good to buy? How do you make sure that you're buying supplements that actually have the potential to improve your health? Because no supplement can guarantee you anything because of your personalized response, and just because most of the supplements have really poor studies backing their application. So when it comes to supplements, first and foremost, you want to understand that supplement is still a supplement and it's usually much inferior to whole food. So try to get as much as possible of nutrition from whole foods. Besides all of the supplements on the market and people actually taking those supplements, a lot of people are still, not a lot, but the majority of people are deficient in essential for life nutrients. And that's what I believe where most of the degenerative diseases come from. One of the big reasons, people just not getting enough vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin E, so many other vitamins and minerals that we need to thrive. And so try to get as much as possible from foods. And my course, Healthy Eating 101, supplies to you the knowledge that you need to practically eat most of your nutrition from your foods. That's why I created it, because I just couldn't find anything on the market that will guide you how to eat for nutrition, actually, how to actually get your nutrients from your foods. So that's why I created the course. But anyhow, realize that you need to be getting most of the nutrients from your whole foods, the best quality possible, to thrive and really feel like you're full of life and full of energy. And more and more leaders in the industry are talking about that, how they have a healthy lifestyle and they eat great food and they supplement with the best stuff, and that's why they have that much productivity and energy. Anyway, so try to get most of your vitamins and minerals, nutrients from whole foods. And when it comes to supplements, the cleaner the ingredient list labels, the less of other ingredients or ingredients that are not active ingredients that you are paying for. The less of that, the better it is for you, and the less of a threat it is to your long-term health. Because again, those supplements are not tested for a long-term effect on our health, and so you don't want to be consuming even seemingly benign other ingredients that, first of all, you are not paying for. Like, for example, if you're buying a protein shake and there are also anti-baking agents and flowing agents and some silica and some other stuff, you're trying to buy protein powder and you're getting all of that on top. And sometimes it's ridiculous how high of an amount you get of that other stuff in your supplement that you were not actually hoping to get. So the less of those other ingredients, like I like the company Bulk Supplements because they specifically focus on the list marketing and just putting into your supplement what you want to buy. Like if it's branched chain amino acids, that's what you're gonna find without any other stuff, period. So yeah, when it comes to supplements, the less of other stuff or weird ingredients that you're not sure of, the less of that, the better. So always check the ingredient list of your supplements too. And I realize also that supplements are even less regulated than food industry. So you can imagine what they can be putting there. And the other point is, it matters how your supplements are made. They're not created equal at all. Some supplements are extracts from natural foods, from whole foods. Some supplements are completely synthetic, so they're synthesized in a lab, like molecule by molecule. They're made entirely in the lab. No foods are involved or no natural products are involved. But also even between natural supplements, there is really a lot of like shady areas. Natural are better. Usually the more expensive the supplement is, in most cases, but not in all cases. Probably there is a reason behind that, and this company did something to make the absorption rate, or basically what is available to your body, the rate of that to increase. So usually the price really matters when it comes to quality of the supplements. And yeah, try to get as much as possible your nutrition from your foods, not from your supplements, and you're gonna be good, guys. That's it for today, guys. So we talked about ingredient list and what to avoid. We talked about best if use by, and should you pay attention to the date on the label. We talked about nutrition facts and why front label of the product is not where you want to be getting your information, and you shouldn't be buying stuff just because it says heart healthy, because in most cases it is not heart healthy or any other way healthy or good for you. And then we talked about supplements, and use this information and you're going to be experiencing much better health and energy levels on a daily basis, guys. And if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. Angela at Create Yourself That Today. And if you have some time, check out the course Health Eating 101 in my food school. I'm working on a lot of updates, and it's awesome, guys. It's gonna deliver value, and you're gonna feel like you really know your way around food, and you know how to eat healthy. So thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you. And tomorrow we're gonna cover another lesson from Healthy Eating 101 course. And till next time, as usual, eat better daily.